According to the American Heart Association, someone in the US has a stroke every 40 seconds. This means that every 3.5 minutes, someone dies of stroke. And every year, more than 795,000 people in the US alone have a stroke. And in 2020, 1 in 6 deaths from cardiovascular disease was due to stroke. These figures are scary, but being at risk for strokes is even scarier. If your health has shown unregulated levels of blood pressure and cholesterol for a while, then you're more at risk of experiencing a stroke. And while the term stroke strikes fear into our hearts, we shouldn't worry because it can definitely be prevented. A stroke occurs when a blood clot blocks the blood supply to the brain, or when one of the blood vessels in the brain ruptures. These scenarios cut the oxygen supply to the brain, which causes cells and tissue to damage and in some cases die. And while this may seem scary, there are simple ways to regulate your blood pressure, reduce your cholesterol levels and prevent stroke. In fact, adopting certain diets can have amazing health results as you age. But what diet should you try if you want to reduce your risks of stroke? Well, keep watching. In this video, we'll share the 3 best diets to prevent stroke. But before we get started, can you do us a favour and like this video? Ring the bell for future notifications and make sure you subscribe to Heart Disease Code for more help managing your blood health. And stick around to find out how you can get 2 free gifts. And now let's find out about the 3 best diets to prevent strokes, starting with number 3, plant-based diet. A plant-based diet can be a great way to reduce your risks of stroke. A plant-based diet focuses on limiting animal products, excluding processed food, and focusing on whole foods such as fruit, vegetables, whole grain, legumes, seed, and nuts. In a plant-based diet, people pay particular attention to how the food they consume is sourced. It is also a more flexible diet than a vegetarian or vegan diet, as it doesn't fully exclude animal products, rather than encourage mindfulness and limitation. So how is this diet beneficial against stroke? Well, blood pressure and high blood lipids levels are often markers of a poor diet, which is influenced by consuming a lot of meat and processed foods. A plant-based diet significantly reduces this food intake and replaces it with food and nutrients. A review of 12 studies found that obese participants who followed a plant-based diet lost more weight after 18 weeks than those who maintained their regular diet. Another study involving over 200,000 participants also found that following a plant-based diet rich in whole foods can lower cholesterol levels, triglyceride levels, and the risks of heart disease, which are all precursors of strokes. So if you're looking to lose weight, reduce your blood lipids, and prevent strokes, then you may want to try a plant-based diet. And if you're still a bit unsure about reducing your animal intake, then maybe you can explore diet number 2, low-carb diet. A low-carb diet focuses on reducing carbohydrates such as pasta, bread, processed foods, soft drinks, and starchy vegetables, and consuming plenty of protein such as meat, fish, and plant protein, fat, nuts, seeds, dairy, and healthy vegetables. In a low-carb diet, people have to pay attention to their plate and calorie count. It is more flexible than a keto diet, which excludes carbohydrates altogether. This diet can also be easier to maintain, as the body uses carbs for energy and keeps our digestive process regulated. So how does a low-carb diet help prevent stroke? Well, consuming a high amount of carbs can influence inflammation, metabolic dysfunction, and blood lipids by regulating the amount of carbs you consume per day and replacing it with a bigger amount of vegetables and protein. These markers can significantly be reduced. A study in overweight adults observed that those who consumed a low-carb diet significantly reduced visceral fat and risks of chronic diseases, including stroke. Another study also noted that those consuming a low-carb diet for 12 weeks experienced a significant drop in triglyceride levels and weight loss. This suggests that reducing your carbohydrate intake can be a great option if you want to reduce markers that influence strokes. And there is one more diet you can explore. If a plant-based or low-carb diet is not quite the right option for you, before you find out what it is, are you ready for 2 free gifts? Find out everything you need to know to prevent heart disease with our free ebook, The Surprising Truth About Fat and Cholesterol. Plus, get exclusive insights from some of the world's leading medical and nutritional professionals by watching the first episode of The Untold Story of Heart Disease. Both gifts can be grabbed simply by clicking the link in the description below, so go and claim them for free. And now let's go back to the 3 best diets to prevent stroke by looking at number 1, Mediterranean diet. The Mediterranean diet originates from the eating habits of countries such as Italy, Greece, Spain and France, which are bordering the Mediterranean Sea. Within the Mediterranean diet, it's recommended to eat plenty of vegetables, fruits, whole grains, nuts and seeds, seafood, healthy fats, dairy and spices, while limiting the consumption of meat and processed foods. It includes a little more animal food sources and carbohydrates than the 2 diets we've seen so far, yet it's considered one of the healthiest and most sustainable diets in the world. And that goes for reducing the risks of stroke. In a large study involving 20,000 participants, experts concluded that, following the Mediterranean diet, significantly reduced the risks of high blood lipids including cholesterol and triglycerides, stroke and heart disease. Another study also observed that eating a Mediterranean diet can reduce diastolic and systolic blood pressure. After more than 7,000 participants followed the diet for a year. And there are plenty more studies demonstrating the benefits of the Mediterranean diet against the development of chronic diseases. So if you want to reduce your risks of stroke, it's essential to focus on regulating your blood markers and adopting a balanced diet rich in whole food. No matter if you prefer to go plant-based, low-carb or Mediterranean, all diets promote similar values, which can make a significant difference in your health. And now we want to hear from you. Which diet are you looking to adopt and why? Share your thoughts with the Heart Disease Code community in the comments. And before you leave, make sure to claim your free gifts by clicking the link in the description below. And don't forget to subscribe to our Heart Disease Code channel and hit that bell button for more help managing your blood health. We want to keep making informative research-based videos for you, so if you got value from this video and would like more of it, you can send us a super thanks by clicking the thanks button at the bottom of the video. Thanks for watching and have a heart-healthy day.